Welcome to the WPSL Christmas Kids of St. Lucie County radio show, and we are doing this today in conjunction with WLX-TV, which is St. Lucie County School Board, and we are actually in the school board chambers with Wayne Gent, the superintendent of schools, and Troy Ingersoll, the new board chair. So we want to acknowledge the wonderful music we just heard from the Westwood High School Concert Chorale. We've been featuring on the Christmas Kids each day for about 4 weeks the talent of St. Lucie County Schools, and it is amazing. And that's something I'm sure you're proud of.
Absolutely. Just sitting here watching the students perform, it's kind of emotional because you sit there and you think about them. I was looking at each one of them, looking at their faces, wondering what the future holds for them, and the fact that they're involved in the course, and it's a group, and there's teamwork, and they work very hard together. It's going to help them with skills later on in life. It's something that you could see on their faces that they love doing. I was listening to the words of the song. I was watching the emotion in them. So our schools are more than just about academics. It's really about the arts as well, and really preparing kids for college and careers, or for college, or for careers, either way. But that that individuality that the students have, each one of our kids have, we never want to lose that.
Certainly, and certainly they're under the direction of Mr. Mealy, and just the sound quality is just amazing.
It's just not Christmas until you hear Westwood's choir, and just Wayne looks at all that, and I just listen to the sound, and just puts me in that spirit, and then just the voices all together harmonized, and it's just beautiful. They did such a great job. Now,
as chair of the school board, you have several roles here. You are a parent of actually a performing arts student as well.
That's right, yeah.
So a lot to be proud of.
Yeah. It's been an exciting year. My son just finished football. My daughter's going into the play at Port St. Lucie, and obviously she was on the radio this morning. And again, thank you, Carol and Greg and Mr. G for allowing our students to come and sing every day, and being on your radio station. And it means a lot to me and to the community just to see what you guys do. And not only that, just the gifts that you give to the community and the money that you raised, and seeing that the kids that can't afford Christmas and parents that can't afford it, that you're willing to step up and take that place. And it's just an awesome experience.
Well, we certainly don't do it alone.
Yes.
We have a lot of volunteers. It's the generosity of St. Lucie County that makes the Christmas Kids able to do what they can do. But let's talk a little more about what's going on with the school district. You have, we're seeing banners here, destination graduation.
Correct, yeah. The core mission of public education in St. Lucie County is teaching and learning, what happens in the classroom between the teacher and the students. And then the pinnacle of that really is graduation, and that's why we're here, so these students can successfully graduate from school. So we've put a major emphasis on that. Our graduation rates are really going up. We haven't received last year's official word yet, but our projections show about an 8 to a 10% gain overall as a district, and just a fantastic story to tell. We're hopeful that before the winter break, if not before the break, then right after in January, the state will release those scores, and will maybe be one of the highest gains in the state of Florida.
That concentration, what kinds of things do you change and make happen?
Well, it's important that you know where all the children stand, all the students. High school kids don't want to be called children. Where the students stand, and monitoring them and knowing where they are, what their grade point average is, what courses they need extra support in or whatever. Look at their absences. Just really monitor everyone, and that every child, every student has an advocate, somebody that's looking out for them, somebody that's monitoring their work, somebody that's monitoring their performance to make sure that they're going to graduate and walk across the stage with their classmates.
And we'll know then in January, shortly?
Hopefully. It's at the Department of Education, but our projections are very, very strong for just great movement at all of our schools.
And certainly that would be great news.
Yes.
You have another SOARS. What does that stand for?
St. Lucie SOARS, really, it's you think about jets, and you'll see there's a poster on the wall over there. It's really about our students soaring, and it's third grade. We just talked about graduation, but the most important grade level is third grade for the students, because really at that they really need to be proficient in reading at that time, where they've really mastered reading. And so that's an area that in our nation, as well as our state and our county, that we struggle with, where our students really aren't at that level. So Project SOARS is a effort with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, Judy Miller, and where we've partnered in some other organizations as well to ask for mentors to come in an hour a week in our schools to sit down with a pre-K through third grade and read to a student. We have a curriculum and a syllabus, and we have training that they go through and clearance, and then to really work with the child, not only as a mentor, but as helping them with their literacy skills, and not only will the child benefit from that, but the mentor will benefit as well.
These are important goals for the district as a whole, but as the new board chair, what would you like to see happen? Your
Oh
goals.
boy, I'm very lucky to be board chair this year. It's an honor to represent St. Lucie County. But first off, I got to give thanks to Carol Hilson and Catherine Hensley for being reelected and the hard work that they've done, and the community has supported them to say that we are moving in the right direction. And then hiring Wayne Gent, he's been here a year and 4 months, 3 months, something like that. And Wayne's done a terrific job. He's set some goals for the district, and obviously graduation rate being up there is phenomenal. You know, going up 10% is incredible just in 1 year. But not only that, he's implemented some other strategies too, hiring and retaining teachers. It was one of his top goals, and starting the year off making sure that we had a teacher in every classroom, and Wayne did a phenomenal job there. So as chairman, what I want to do is just ride that wave, can keep it going, and keep the rigor going in the classroom. We've hired some district staff to help improve that, more professional development. We've redone our HR, and up and coming student services is going to go in a different direction too because of the change of law. And I'm so proud of our staff now because they're already ahead of the game rather than being behind the game. And that's just a tribute to the district staff and Mr. Gent, what he's doing in St. Lucie County. And like I said, you know, Ms. Hensley did a phenomenal job as chairman, and I just look forward to riding her wave and what she set up.
We all wish you well and wish the school district well. We'll be back with more. We'll be hearing some more from the Westwood High School Concert Chorale, and back with more in a moment. The Westwood High School Concert Chorale, and thank you again. We're here with school board members, Catherine Hensley and Debbie Hawley, and certainly thank you for being with us. I understand there's a lot more to the SOARS, St. Lucie SOARS program.
Correct.
That's dear to both of you.
Well, SOARS is it's focused in the school district, but the community has picked up on it significantly. Children's Services Council is doing mini libraries all over the county for small children, young children. And we have boxes and boxes of books at Children's Services Council, but they're going into places like barbershops and restaurants and that sort of thing, where people can pick up a book and take it home with them, read to their children. Along with that, Learn to Read is expanding what they're doing with adults. It used to be that Learn to Read dealt with adults who didn't read. Now they're dealing with adults who may not read English. And we're working with our parents through the Parent Academy to expand those opportunities. So it is a whole community-wide initiative that is basically being spearheaded by the school district.
And now for people that aren't familiar with the Parent Academies, those are quite extensive in what they do.
They're very extensive, and they're expanding what they're doing with English as second language, financial literacy, and those type of opportunities that we found there's a great need in the community for.
There's also a great new partnership with Comcast for Internet Essentials that Parent Academy is housing so that families can go and have access to internet places that they may not otherwise. So the focus this year is just so great on community outreach as well as community inreach, because so many of our community members are participating in SOARs. That's the intent of it, to get community and other government officials into classrooms to actually mentor our children as they come along. And the turnout has just really been phenomenal, and it's exciting to see so many adults that normally wouldn't think about doing something like this, and the workplaces that are granting time for those employees to do it as part of their work day, that they can actually leave and go and mentor a child once a week. So the community, the cities, it's been phenomenal, and the kids are really, really enjoying it.
And if someone would like to become involved and is not now involved but would like to become?
Very, very easy. All you have to do is go to the school district website, and SOARS pops up in the left-hand corner, and you just punch on it, and you are in the process then. Goes through. It immediately goes to our partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters. They're doing all of the intake and interview and matching and that sort of thing, because the idea behind Big Brothers Big Sisters is making a one-on-one match that's supported and provides resources so that that match lasts and lasts. So they are working with us on all of those details, and it's been a fabulous partnership thus far.
Now, the superintendent presented to each city and county government, and all the governments bought into it, economic development, chambers of commerce. Everybody that has an opportunity to be a stakeholder in education at all has actually bought into the concept and are helping to spread the word. So it's exciting. It's one of those things that you hope works. And right now it is taking off faster than I think any of us had anticipated.
Well, that is great, because I know November was Parent Engagement Month. Right. We really concentrated on it, but parent engagement is year-round.
Parent engagement is year-round, but it's not just parent engagement. It is anybody who touches a child's life. So it is grandparents, it's the neighbor, it's everybody. We all benefit when children win. And as children become more successful, it makes our community much more resilient to any of those things we've been through in the last many years, right? So it is a really exciting opportunity, and to see the leadership in our community across territory come together to recognize why this is such an important concept, it's just absolutely fantastic.
And any thoughts? I mean, you went through an election this year. You were elected for a 6th term.
Yep.
Any thoughts on?
It was the nastiest, ugliest election our county has ever endured. It will not happen again if we can figure out how to keep that from happening.
But your next term.
Well, the community as a whole is as you know, it's a fantastic community, and we work together. We collaborate so well. We are a model way beyond our community. We're known in Tallahassee and way beyond about a community that works together for key issues. And that's not going to ever stop, regardless of what happens, because we think it's part of our culture now, and we hope it will maintain part of our culture, that this is what we do. We work together for the important, difficult things.
Well, thank you, certainly, Debbie Hawley and Catherine Hensley for being with us, and we'll be back with more of the WPSL Christmas Kids show on WLX TV.
We forget to look
Now, thanks again to the Westwood High School Concert Chorale, and thank you for being with the WPSL Christmas Kids show on WLX TV. And we're back with our school board members, Dr. Donna Mills and Carol Hilson. Now, there's something new that's kind of gotten going in the last couple of years, the Speakers Bureau.
Yes. About 3 years ago, we started the Speakers Bureau, and we took off slow. We started at one school, Westwood High School. This year, as of the beginning of the year, we've expanded to 7 schools. The Speakers Bureau invites community people to come in, mostly men at this time, and the reason why is because we want our kids to have a lot of males in front of them, sharing their stories of success, but also their stories of trials, their stories of their own struggles and challenges, and how they were able to make the right decisions to bring them to the place they are in today. And it's very inspirational. The purpose and the goal is to get the kids to self-motivate, where they will buy into their own education and will be able to basically time travel, like our Kids at Hope program. And the way we think about Kids at Hope, we want them to be able to see their future. And children have a tendency of only seeing the moment. And so those of us that have traveled already that path, we come back and give our stories to the kids, so that no matter how challenging that story was, we ask our speakers to really be open and really share, because we have children in St. Lucie County community and over the entire country and the world who are struggling as children, who are having hard times. And in fact, one of the young ladies that sung earlier with Westwood shared with me just today, before we came on, after they got off, she thanked me for coming to Westwood and for the Speakers Bureau and being available there. And she says that she's learned so much about life and decision making, and really she understands more now. And so that's what it's all about, trying to help them see why they're even going to school. You know, so many times we say you need to get high grades, you need to do this, you need to do that, and our kids don't understand why, even as seniors or middle schoolers. So currently the Speakers Bureau is in the 7 schools, all middle school and high schools.
And where do you find the speakers? How do you select?
All over the community. And what's so exciting about that is we've shared about our SOARS program and how people have the opportunity to do what they might not have done. All over the community we find our speakers. We have over 100 now, currently, that are waiting to be able to share their stories with a group of kids within our public school district. And I measure the success of it through the attentiveness of the children. And we are really captivating these young lives. They're really listening. They are engaged. And so we know that we're being successful when we get their attention. And so, yes, we constantly talk about how important education is, you know, and how that plays a major part.
And now Kids at Hope is something that Carol Hilson, you're very involved in.
Very involved. As a private preschool director, we find it just a wonderful opportunity for staff to be trained every year, because we work with the children in the community, and if you haven't lived poverty, it's very hard to understand poverty and what it means to each child coming into us. And it's important to me that staff doesn't judge a family, because we don't know the circumstances that children come to us. The same as the public school system. When a child walks in the door, our administrators, our teachers don't know what that burden the child might be carrying. They may be a foster child. They may be a child who has survived abuse of some type, and single parents struggling. Many of our families speak a second language, and they're struggling to learn English and so forth. So that is just one of the many community builders for families, and I think it's found its place in St. Lucie County, since we are a county of Kids at Hope.
And there certainly is a time for churches to cooperate with
absolutely.
Community.
Absolutely. We are truly a village.
Yes, and we feel it more this time of year.
Yes, Absolutely.
So thank you, Carol Hilson and Dr. Donna Mills, for being with us. And we'll be back with more of the Christmas Kids radio show on WLX. And welcome back to the WPSL Christmas Kids radio show in conjunction with WLX-TV today. And we're back with Board Chair Troy Ingersoll and Wayne Gent, Superintendent of St. Lucie County Schools. And this is, we talked earlier about the importance of teachers and what happens in the classroom. And this is the time of year that you get around to the Teacher of the Year selections.
Right, it's tough that you can only choose one because we have outstanding teachers in St. Lucie County, and they give so much of their time and they sacrifice so much of their life to work with kids, and it really is a calling. And if it weren't for the teachers, that's the front line, we would really be in bad shape across our country as well as within our county. So we're really thankful for what they do. And then the Teacher of the Year program, we also have the School-Related Employee of the Year, as well as the Distinguished Minority Educator of the Year and the First Year Teacher of the Year. So it's kind of like a celebration, like an Academy Awards time where we can recognize one person, but they really represent what's best in all of our employees, and that's really an attitude of service and of giving to others, and I think that's really what makes our school district very, very special.
And you make it a special night, the Night of the Stars. Really, the recognition for all teachers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an excellent night. This year, I think we're going to have Troy maybe sing the national anthem.
I'll knock that out of the park.
And but it really recognizes in all seriousness, it recognizes the distinguished service that our employees give us, and a lot of them are just unsung heroes, and you never know what they're doing, but they're making a difference in the lives of children and in our community, which will make our nation strong. And so we're just very fortunate. And
back to your point earlier of the importance of everything that is done here is really in the classroom.
It really is in the classroom. Like I said, we've got a great district. And the teachers are putting a lot of work into it, support staff, front office people. When you walk into our schools, they're greeted with a warm, friendly smile, and it's just a great place to be, and we're thankful for the leadership of our district staff, and we're thankful for the parents of St. Lucie County getting involved in the children and being more active in their activities, and we're just very, very fortunate.
Sure, with the parent academies, with all of the opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly. And we talked about also the career academies. That's something that you can specialize in different high schools, I think even middle schools. Correct. It's programs for students. We have two really goals, whether be ready to go to college or be ready for the world of work, a high-paying job. So we have the different academies, different programs that are out there, from aerodynamics to culinary arts to drafting to ROTC, the drones. We have kids learning how to do the drones in our ag programs. We have dental programs. We have veterinary science programs. Just a lot of programs that students can get involved in and interested in. It gives them a choice too, as well as to that program. It may be a certain high school that they want to attend to be into that program, which is an area that they want to go into later on in their vocation. And so we really try to start out in the middle school years to start some self-discovery and see what they'd be interested in. Again, to help these kids to be prepared when they come out, whether they go to college or they go directly to work, that they're ready for either choice, either option that they have. All this coordinated by the school board. Correct. It works together. It works together with the curriculum department, but all the departments as a team work close together to do that. And I want to say something about the school board as well. I've been in education for a lot of years, and we have an outstanding, our 5-member school board. They're veterans, 6 terms, 5 terms, so they know their jobs, they know their roles, they're committed to our students, they're committed to the betterment of this community, and they work very well together as a team, and that's an exciting thing. It's something that you never want to take for granted, and it's just something that we're very fortunate to have here, a very, very strong school board. Certainly are, and certainly we want to wish everyone not only a happy holiday season, but certainly a successful academic year as we go forward into 2017. Absolutely, and then just the partnership that we share with you all and other businesses within the community, it's so important. I always say to our principals, Thomas Dewey once said, what every parent wants for their own child, the community must want for all of its children, and I think that's what everyone believes, and they come out and support our schools, and we support them and support the community in general, the different neighborhoods, to make sure that kids are successful and our community members are successful. So it's just a great partnership, and we're very excited to be a part of it. A very good point to end on. Thank you very much, Wayne Jen, Superintendent of Schools, Troy Ingersoll, the board chair, and thank you to the rest of the school board members who were with us today, and also that wonderful Westwood High School Concert Chorale. And thank you for being with us. Keep the Christmas kids in your heart.